Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Big Dudes in the Trenches. We got Bug in the house. What's going on, man? We got Tug in the house. How's it going?
I made it.
We got Big Doug in the house. And we have a very special guest introducing our degenerate gambler friend. Mug is in the house.
What up?
So Mug, first question. Have you ever used our slides for your parlays?
No, but I've used Doug's picks before, and I should have used exactly what he didn't pick.
Yes.
That
is correct. It was one of those weeks. Most importantly, though, Party Rock is in the house tonight. So I hope everybody has a good time here with the Big Dudes in the Trenches. That's what it's all about.
We're doing the hokey pokey too?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. As you can see, this is not my usual setup. Mug and I are traveling for work. We work together
In Italy.
So, yeah. Well, as you can see,
look at the view out of that window
of Venice behind us. Glorious. And I'm not telling you where we really are. You're just gonna. It's definitely Venice.
We have something in common though, because I'm traveling for work too, so this isn't my normal setup either.
Yeah, but it's not Italy, so
no, it is. It is very much not Italy.
It smells way worse. It smells way worse.
Well, depends what part of Italy.
Still smells worse.
Oh man. So as we do, we will be going through the picks that we made last week, which are
we don't have to. We can skip them.
Could
but we're going.
I want to see him. I want to see who the real winner is, so I can base my picks off it.
Yeah, it's not Tug this week. Finally,
yeah, don't know.
Spoiler. And then we have a lot more picks for the upcoming week of college football action. Unfortunately,
our most ever by 10.
And yeah, we're picking 56 games this week.
I have 59, sir.
Okay. Well, I forgot a couple. Those didn't count, all right? And we didn't even get to pick Liberty, Kennesaw State, which is like somehow a good game right now. And Middle Tennessee, Jacksonville State is kind of a good game right now. And but we have some good games coming up for sure. So we'll get to that in due time. In the meantime, though, let's get started with how we did in the past.
It looks like I should be the guy you're basing your picks off of, but this will quickly show you why no.
Yeah.
It is crazy to me that I'm 159 and 108, and it's that close to 50%.
You're well over.
I mean, but I'm not even 60%. It's crazy.
Yeah. And then we start things off right on Thursday.
Yeah, never rely on me for weekday games. I never pick them well.
And I haven't picked Marshall correctly yet until this week, so very excited. Finally.
I feel like the answer is just to not pick Georgia State if we're talking about them, because I think they've let us down every single time.
Well, it's like West Virginia, and you guys keep putting them on the list.
Yeah, because they're interesting. If nothing else,
like Air Force, but you guys keep putting them on the list too.
Only for rivalries this year. They haven't been interesting any other time.
They're not even interesting in the rivalries.
It was fun to pick them. And then Virginia Tech doubled up Boston College, and I'm the only one who got that right. So let's go. What's up now?
I didn't expect that one at all. Boston College was kind of a shell of themselves.
This is probably the last time I'm picking Boston College this year because they are not what they were at the beginning of the year. There it is.
And Tug has a friend. He'll be back later, I'm sure.
Skunk.
Oh, it's a skunk.
Hey, what do you know? He's
later,
back here.
He's right there.
All right, so I didn't get to defend myself last week. This had all of the writings of a classic Purdue upset for absolutely no right and coming off a big win versus a top-ranked opponent, going on the road to West Lafayette, had all of the makings of it. Oregon is just new to the Big Ten and did not understand that is what the Big Ten does. So they did not abide by that and absolutely closed the door on any doubts about it.
Here's the other thing you didn't consider. Purdue did that when they had Jeff Brom at head coach, and they don't anymore. So,
like I said,
y'all both took Nevada, so
yeah,
y'all missed the line there. Fresno State winning by a field goal.
Not to spoil anything, but I'd like to say I've learned my lesson. But we'll find out later.
No. We're gonna see the skunk again. Don't worry.
Is it? I like this slide.
It's not this one.
Yeah,
You're almost
Ben. You fucked up the slide.
Well, nobody could have predicted 56-7.
Yeah,
No,
in my defense,
terror.
50. Like, if you'd have told me Indiana was going to win, even last week, I said, you know what, they probably could, but I think they've got more football culture there. They're gonna get it done. On no planet did I suspect that they would lose 56-7 at Indiana, of all places.
Right.
Can Miami stop squeaking out close victories? Like, they're winning everything close.
You want to talk about this one?
Oh, I didn't mean to strike a chord. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I only screened for 3 hours for nothing.
Checks.
Yeah, no, it is. Honestly, I went into the game. I went into Notre Dame thinking probably not going to win. Going to be close, probably not going to win. Went into SMU thinking the same thing. SMU offense does not get stopped. It doesn't matter who they play. They will score points on you. Our offense was struggling the past 2 games, and I was not confident that our offense would keep up with their offense because we were not going to stop them from scoring, I think, 34-27 or something like that. They were going to put up 30 points regardless. But this Miami game, I went into it feeling confident that we had a chance. Miami's notorious for squeaking out close victories, but Jeff Brom is a much better play caller than our last coach, and it felt like we were so close with our last coach. I'm very confident with Jeff Brom. I still am, but Ron English sucks as a defensive coordinator. He sucks. He cannot call a single damn good play. It's a guessing game with him. So, and he tends to play against the odds. So I did feel confident against Miami, but it just, I don't know. Our defense could not stop their, what are they, 56-49?
52-45 on screen.
Yeah, 52-45.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Cam Ward is better than every defense so far this year. So even
just
as much
barely.
as he fumbles.
He's still a true gunslinger, just barely
Yes.
better than every defense.
Yeah.
They still should have that loss against Virginia Tech. That was fucked.
I mean, they probably should have lost this week, too, but they beat Louisville anyway. So that's where we're at.
No,
I'm talking
Auburn's
about that
fucked.
return
Missouri's
ball.
okay.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel vindicated having us pick this game, though, being a 4-point contest. I mean, Missouri just kind of ass.
Yeah. Missouri goes however Brady Cook goes. That's the
fair.
bottom line, because Auburn dominated this game, and then Brady Cook came back, scored his first drive back in the game. Missouri's within 3, like they're within a field goal here. And then it took them till the very end of the game to finally get it all together. So I'm not completely selling Auburn, but I'm not 100% in on Mizzou. Something's just not feeling right about them. Their offense isn't clicking the way that it's supposed to. Luther Burden was supposed to be one of the best receivers in the country. He's not there. And I don't feel like they're really getting the replacement production that they would need to be that top team in the SEC or in the country. And Auburn's not that good of a team to let them hang around like this. I don't know. That's not spelling good things for Mizzou.
I will say Auburn this year has tended to play up to their opponent. But yeah, something's not clicking the right way with Mizzou.
I agree. I'm saying, why do you not fade Auburn all the way? I mean, do they have a realistic shot at winning any SEC games the rest of the way? I don't know.
I want to say
Auburn
no,
or Mizzou?
Auburn. I mean,
they might beat Alabama, and let's be real.
Fair.
That wouldn't be the craziest thing that happened to Alabama football this season.
That might be too normal. Actually, it's so normal that Alabama's going to win.
They're going to put the Iron Bowl on the CW just to make it fun again.
That would be
Jesus.
That'd be incredible. The Iron Bowl only streaming on Max.
Okay, if they do that, they have to mic up all the players so I can hear all of the cuss words that come across on the field.
Absolutely.
Wisconsin beat the shit out of Northwestern, proving that Northwestern is not back.
No,
UCLA went across the country and beat Rutgers, put an end to the reign of terror of the Scarlet Knights. Is Rutgers the new Maryland, where we get September Rutgers and then October Rutgers?
It might be.
Yeah,
it feels that way.
It's probably fair. Like, I'm thinking about it, and that's probably fair.
And then Cincinnati won a game at home. That's incredible. I didn't know they had it in them.
Well, you did. You picked them.
I know. I wasn't confident.
I think it was more of a guess.
I just
Arizona
didn't like
State's one of those teams.
Arizona State's like a really young team, and the coaching staff's really young and kind of inexperienced. I figured traveling all that way might affect them somewhat. They've been doing well with the Four Corners schools. They haven't really played much outside of that in the Big 12 yet. It was, it's not much to go off of, but I got the point. So,
and the other issue with this matchup is Arizona State, like much of the Big 12, is you never know what team you're getting for whoever's playing that week. It's all a guessing game.
Which is why we pick a whole bunch of Big 12 games every week.
Yeah, I noticed.
Hey, the Raging Cajuns are good this year.
Hey, Oklahoma sucks this year.
Very accurate.
I really just like cock-themed mascots.
Yes.
And
I did 1-1 on the Cox.
Yeah,
not too bad.
I'm not at all surprised that Louisiana pulled this one out against Coastal. What I am surprised by is that South Carolina dominated Oklahoma like this. I've been saying it though that South Carolina is a much better team than their record shows. This 100% proves it and validates it. Maybe it shows us that Oklahoma's kind of ass too. I'm not 100% sure.
You know what scares me? The thought of Oklahoma firing Brett Venables and him going back to be Dabo's defensive coordinator again. That would scare me.
No, if he gets let go, he'll be a head coach at some. He'll replace Don Brown at UMass or something stupid and go win a couple of MAC titles.
And then, speaking of games that just surprised the shit out of us, what the fuck happened to Towson?
Yeah.
Why?
They've been keeping it close with the good teams all year, and then Stony Brook comes to town and beats the piss out of them.
I gotta say, this is the best. It's one of their logos. It's the best Seawolf logo I've ever seen. It's a wave and a wolf all in one. And if Alabama somehow could figure out how to incorporate an elephant into a wave, that'd be awesome, but they won't. So
it's not hard. Just have water coming from its
Finish that thought, please.
From its snout.
Okay. Trunk? All right.
Yeah, trunk, that one.
We're leaving that alone.
URI has not let me down this year.
I know. I can't believe it either.
Happy for you.
Are they the favorites at this point in the season coming out of the Colonial?
It's the Coastal now.
Yeah.
For the record.
Why?
Coastal Athletic Association, because
Why?
colonial sounds bad and
No.
racist. So I'm not kidding. They changed it because it sounds slightly offensive. I know it's dumb. I didn't change it personally. I'm reporting the news. Anyway, no, it's still Villanova for sure. I mean, you can't.
This game was 2-3 at one point.
Yeah,
Fuck
it was.
Yeah.
And you know what's terrifying is we have another safety in this slide.
Also from an never. Well, yeah, so also from an FCS school. That would have been a correct statement.
Correct. We all picked Butler. I'm not picking Butler again. Learned that lesson. I'm done with the Bulldogs.
And we got Flyer.
We got right brothered.
So Chad's offense is good enough to score 37 points, but not quite good enough to avoid a safety.
Yes.
All right.
Exactly. It's not actually that unusual. It happens sometimes. So it was a couple years ago, Ohio State beat, I'm pretty sure it was Akron, 76-5. And at one point, the other team, it might have been Miami of Ohio, one of the MAC schools in Ohio, they scored a field goal and then got a safety the next drive. And so the question was posed, is that the biggest blowout when the other team scores twice to start the game? And I don't know that anyone has ever found an answer to that, but I'm pretty sure it's true. Anyway, 37-5 is wild. It's not the wildest.
It was Miami, Ohio in 2019.
Okay. Yeah. That's right. I remember looking at the score and it was 5-0, and I freaked the fuck out and then went back to what I was doing because I wasn't able to watch that game live.
You overreact to a Ohio State score?
Never.
Well, yeah, it was 5-0. How do you not overreact to that? Anyway, our usual Citadel VMI logic did not hold. Our logic was Citadel's the better team, and therefore VMI should win.
VMI should win.
But it didn't happen.
Oh, good boy.
We have a happy Bulldog here.
And then, oh my gosh, Eastern Michigan came all the way back. It was unreal.
I had literally no reason for taking Central Michigan. Literally none. And I was like, this is working out wonderfully. And then it didn't. And now I fucking hate Central Michigan.
And then they scored 22 points in the fourth quarter.
Oh, my God.
But also, Alabama lost again. So at least you have that.
This one, honestly, if I'm Alabama, this one scares me a lot less.
That's interesting. Why? Explain.
It's not Vanderbilt.
Oh, they're coming.
Help.
This is one that if you're looking at the way the season started, Alabama could have probably chalked it up as a 50-50 match. I know Alabama always expects to win this, but realistically looking at it, this was a 50-50. It just happened to go Tennessee's way at home. I get it. The Vanderbilt one is still a punch in the mouth that probably hurts them.
Time of possession, Vanderbilt was 80-20. So
I just wish Alabama was going to Memphis for a game because apparently they can't win in the state of Tennessee this year.
Let's go. That'd be awesome. Alabama at Middle Tennessee State.
Who are they playing the week before the Iron Bowl? Please tell me it's UT Chat.
It's probably Mercer.
Probably. Mercer's going to shut them out. Let's go.
It is Mercer.
Oh, gosh.
Mercer is the week before Oklahoma. It's Mercer, Oklahoma, Auburn.
I mean, I guess it doesn't really count because that game's played at Alabama anyway, not in the state of Tennessee.
I mean, yeah.
Mercer's not in Tennessee. Doesn't count.
This I like. Mostly.
Yeah, for the most part.
Why did NC State finally decide to show up for a game?
All the way across the country.
He finally used it.
It's that Karl Marx said, "Hey, everybody needs a win now and then, so we have to let them have this one.
Redistribute the points."
He did get them almost even. That's about perfect.
Yep. Hey, 2 each according to his need. NC State needed some points. Got them here.
I love how we're just ignoring Notre Dame and Illinois.
Yeah. So, getting back to that, Notre Dame looks good. Georgia Tech looks exactly how I kind of thought they would look.
They are who we thought they were.
Yeah. Everybody's still kind of overreacting, including me, to that Florida State game. So, Georgia Tech's fine. They'll be a bowl team this year for sure. But it's not like they're phenomenal. We kind of knew this.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the one I'm very excited about is how the team up north looked like absolute fucking dog shit.
Can they figure out who's quarterbacking that offense at this point?
No. They cannot.
And here's the other thing. Not only did Illinois play good,
Michigan.
they looked amazing this week. The throwback uniforms with the hand-painted helmets. Like, if you didn't know, like, if you just look quickly and be like, why the fuck are they wearing leather helmets? Like, what's going on here? It looked that good. The effect was awesome. And Illinois kicked the shit out of them. Really had their way with Michigan all day long. I know the score. It's only a 2-possession game. Illinois had some chances to get out ahead further and didn't.
Yeah.
But they didn't need to because Michigan fucking sucks.
Turned the ball over 3 times. Went on a couple of long drives that resulted in absolutely nothing. I mean, Illinois kind of did whatever they wanted to, which doesn't look like it from the score, but you have to understand this is Big Ten football, and doing whatever they want to means controlling the ball, controlling the line of scrimmage, and scoring as few points as necessary to win.
No, they could have scored 13 less and still won.
This is old school Big Ten football right here.
Exactly. I love it.
I like this slide. I like this.
This is a game I went to on Saturday, Kent State at Bowling Green State. First time I've been in that stadium. It's actually a really nice stadium. I like it a lot. We all knew Bowling Green was going to win this. Kent State sucks.
Yeah, there's not much more to add to that.
Yeah.
Kent State is doggy doo-doo. Moving on.
And Miami, Ohio beats Ohio 30-20.
Yeah.
Depressing.
Yeah.
And Western Michigan
Ohio's
finds a win in the MAC.
Yeah. And they won this one 48-41, so only a touchdown game here against a pretty good Buffalo squad.
I think at Buffalo means something this year again, so that's cool. Glad Buffalo has something of a home field to speak of.
They still lost.
Nice. I am also fascinated with the possibility. Miami, I think, went winless in the non-conference, playing some pretty tough teams. They have a legitimate shot to win the MAC.
Who won it last year?
Not Miami.
Playing very well.
Was it Miami, Ohio, or were they the year before?
No, it was not Miami, which means Miami has a chance to win it this year.
Okay,
right.
that's really all I was
last year. Yeah.
What? Richmond, what?
Exactly. I half called this game when I said Richmond has a real shot, so we're finally picking a Delaware game. And then I didn't have the balls to pick the Spiders.
So
we all got whipped.
And so we all got Spider-Man. Yeah.
We all got a load in the face.
But enough of that. Florida, A&M, and Jackson State. Yeah, Jackson State's repaired from all the damage Deion Sanders did when he left. And Tennessee State beat the shit out of Howard at what was a surprisingly expensive game to get tickets for.
Yeah. Fucking $400 tickets.
What?
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey, at least we know our HBCUs. We can rest easy on that. Sometimes. Maryland won a game in October. This is new.
They also redistribute the points there out in California.
Yeah, unreal. USC is so close to being undefeated, and yet so far.
Unreal. Yeah, it is. They're the best mediocre team in the country right now.
Is this actually one of their alternate logos?
Yes. It's the old Trojan man.
I wonder what they pay for copyright on that.
I'm pretty sure Trojan pays them copyright, considering
that could be
definitely been around longer than the condom company. Colorado at Arizona. When are you two finally gonna recognize when Colorado has a chance to actually win a game?
Because you realize I did that last year and got burned on it almost every time. So now I have pendulum swung and have the same issue this year.
I don't trust any Big 12 team on the road at any
That's
point.
That's really also that.
I mean, I can't deny that logic. However,
there's just one Big 12 team I don't trust anymore at all.
Colorado does have some good matchups.
Sure.
And I get it. They were way fucking overblown last year. But
Right.
I think that led into this year, and people doubted them way more than they should have. This is a pretty good football team.
I don't know if I would go that far.
I didn't say very good. I said pretty good.
I still don't know if I'd go that far. But, you know.
New Mexico State, though, pretty good Mountain West team, New Mexico State here.
Not New Mexico State.
Or New Mexico, sorry. Jesus.
There you go. The Lobos. Yeah. Utah State is not good.
No. There's not much more to add to that.
They scored 45 points. New Mexico's defense is not good. That's another point to this. But New Mexico is exciting enough on offense they can figure out how to score 50 points every time, it seems like now. So you can win a lot of games in Mountain West for scoring 50 points a game.
Absolutely. Now, very clearly, there's a couple other teams in this conference. They're not going to be anywhere near the conference championship discussion unless some crazy stuff happens.
Yeah.
But, man, wouldn't that be cool if they were?
It sure would.
Ugly.
We bust out the new James Madison logo, and Georgia Southern bites us in the ass.
And now we have a sad
bulldog this time. Oh, no.
Doug was happy earlier. Now he's sad.
Georgia Southern is always good when we pick against them.
Yeah, facts.
Yes. So
I think I've rectified that this week.
Who else is good when I pick against them is usually Eastern Kentucky. But I finally got one right.
I know. I felt pretty good going with the Colonels in this one because I was just like, oh, you're going against them? Perfect.
Yeah.
And then you
finally came true. Abilene Christian is a legitimate top 25 team. Eastern Kentucky's not. The UAC has two teams that can compete. It's Abilene Christian and Central Arkansas, and nobody else. Maybe Tarleton, not really Tarleton. It's Central Arkansas and then Abilene Christian. But the Southland has Incarnate Word, and hey, McNeese is still not a bad team, even with a 13-point loss here. I still like the Cowboys quite a bit.
My notes from last week literally say, come on, it's against McNeese.
Southeastern Louisiana did it to us again. This is the second week in a row picking against them. And we got Lioned. We got Naza Benyard.
We got Simba. This was almost a very bad slide for us, too.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Bad slide for us, too.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that.
I got the Golden Boot right.
Yeah, and the Golden Boot, the final score doesn't indicate this. It was kind of close until the fourth quarter, and then LSU said, okay, we're going to score all the points.
Damn, that pesky fourth quarter comes up at the worst times.
Yeah, at the end of the game, man, it sucks.
It sucks.
Right? Never ready for that sucker.
I don't know what the fuck happened with Arkansas. It was honestly a legitimately decent game, and then the ending came, and Arkansas couldn't do anything right.
They thought it was a hockey game, and there were only 3 periods.
I guess.
Yeah. Man, that goalie needs to get fired. And then, yeah, we all picked Alcorn State.
Are we all just sleeping on Southern?
Yes. I guess.
At this point.
I feel like they've been quietly good this year.
I mean, we picked against them basically every week, so at some point we have to recognize they're better than we think.
Yeah.
I don't like that logic for some reason. I still want to pick against them, but we'll see.
And you notice how my skunk ran away and Tugs went further down into the slides? You've got more skunkings coming, Doug.
Oh, I'm sure. It was a bad week. Stop giving me West Virginia games. That is the easy answer here.
Or you could start picking Kansas State.
Or Michigan
I went with
State,
my typical
apparently.
West Virginia answer. West Virginia should have lost this game, so I picked the opposite team. Whoever's supposed to lose is who I pick in these games with West Virginia.
I just want to point out, so West Virginia, they lost 45-18 against a very good Kansas State team. Avery Johnson looks like he's finally figuring out how to play on the road, which is a very fair reason to have picked West Virginia in this one.
Yeah.
But what the fuck's going on with Texas? Because, and I guess to that end, what the fuck's going on with Georgia? Doug, congrats on taking Georgia 30-15. Bijan Robinson had to wear a Georgia shirt for a press conference today. That was fun. But, I mean, what is going on here? Texas looked so unbeatable. They had Quinn Ewers. He goes out. Arch Manning comes in. They don't miss a beat. Quinn Ewers comes back, and he doesn't have it at quarterback right now.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what happened. There's 2 things that happened. Number one, Georgia's legitimately a great team, and everybody kind of forgot that because they lost to Alabama, even though they really only lost half of that game.
Yeah.
And it was too much for them to recover from. Georgia's legitimately a national championship contender, and everybody seems to have forgotten that. So for them to be even competitive in this game was like wild to some people. It was so dumb coming into this. But the reason Texas really lost is that it's a combination of 2 things with around like the same issue. So the tackles have been really great all year until this Georgia game. This is like the first time we've seen a pass rush actually work for the Bulldogs. And I think it's because Texas hasn't been playing against athletic enough defensive ends. And so when you put these tackles out there on islands, it wasn't working this game where it has in the past for Texas. And combine that with the Quinn Ewers, who is still lingering a little bit, obviously, because he wasn't playing like himself. He stayed in the pocket too long, held onto the ball too long, and seemed indecisive and like he couldn't really give it everything he had. I think it would have been better for Texas to start Arch Manning in this game if Quinn Ewers couldn't go, because clearly something was off with him, and it at least would have been a lot closer with a quarterback who could at least, go out there and give a real effort. But this was not Quinn Ewers like we've seen him. I think something is wrong with him, like injury still.
And as a coach, you need to notice that early in the game and make the switch. Even if you try to give him the shot, you need to go ahead and make the switch.
And they did, but it was obviously way too late. So now I think Georgia's defense is actually really good. And just Alabama, yes, Alabama's offense is extremely talented, but also Alabama is under the Kalen DeBoer issue of playing with a ton of emotion. And we saw that in the first half, and then we saw it bite them in the second half of that game. So it's That's not the way Georgia plays. That was a bad matchup for them. This was a great matchup for them because Steve Sarkisian hasn't figured out how to adjust.
Yeah. And last but not least on this slide, we already mentioned it. Michigan State beats Iowa 32-20 in East Lansing. Honestly, it's weird saying this, but this looked like the worst offensive performance of the year for Iowa. And I say it's weird to say it because they've actually had an offensive year. Yeah.
Right.
Which this would have been the best offensive performance for him last year.
Yep.
But also, Michigan State seems to be figuring it out at the right time.
Yeah.
Because they're heading into the big house next week.
Right,
and
don't get too ahead. We'll get there. We definitely got Spartan kicked on this one. Not a fun time had by any Hawkeyes fans or Hawkeyes pickers. All right, we might be done with the skunk for today. Let's move on.
Thank you for leaving my Blue Falcon there.
Yeah,
because I feel like every time this is up here, I realistically
good luck charm.
No, I realistically expect Air Force to end the season 1-11 at this point.
They probably will. Colorado State won 21-13. They won the Ram Falcon trophy.
So dumb.
That's the worst one.
Pick a better name.
Yeah, you could get the Battle of the Bones. I mean, it's already taken, but
the Illabuck trophy.
Yeah, well, they used to have a live turtle. Yeah, that was cooler.
The much more fun game on this slide, obviously, North Texas at Memphis.
It was fun. It was fun from a football fan perspective.
Yeah,
the end of this game pissed me off so much. Holy shit! I said Seth Hennigan wasn't going to let Memphis lose this game, and that held true. They got really conservative at the end of the game, had to kick a field goal, made it an 8-point lead. But going into that, before that possession, North Texas converted a 3rd and 19 and then a 4th and 13. And on that 4th down pass, instead of deflecting the ball, the defender went up to try and intercept it, and he did. Unfortunately, the receiver got his hand in there, and they wrestled with it all the way to the ground, so possession was given to the offense. And that's how North Texas went in and got 44, their final score there. In fairness, I don't know that he would have been able to deflect it. I seem to remember there being another North Texas receiver in the area. Maybe he wanted to make sure, hey, I'm going to catch it, or it's, whatever. That's besides the point. Memphis got it done. Bowl eligible again, 6-1. Man, what a wild finish in this one.
Hey, your favorite game of the weekend? Kentucky got their ass beat.
Yep.
Hey, we all picked it.
I think we all saw
something about those Florida teams and the Kentucky teams just not working out for you last week.
No, honestly, I fucking hate UK more than anything in my existence. I'm serious. I hate UK.
I also hate UK football or basketball, rather. Not as much anymore, but I still hate them.
Man, everything about UK fans, they're the most obnoxious. They're up there with Duke. Anything could happen. Louisville could lose, but as long as UK loses, my weekend is fine.
I like it.
Yeah, I hate them that much. I think that's why I love Doug here so much, and Cole, the other guy that works with us, because none of them, one's a Georgia fan, one's Ohio State. So as long as they're not UK.
Finally, we have a new winner in the Dakota marker matchup. North Dakota State gets it done at home, giving the Jackrabbits their first loss in 2 years.
Yeah.
Impressive
first
run.
FCS loss in 2 years.
Yeah, impressive run for South Dakota State. I mean, hats off to them. They're going to start another streak here, I have a feeling. And props to North Dakota State. Maybe they're going to restart their reign of terror over the FCS here.
I mean it was about time where it was about time where they did the high five at the Dakota marker and traded off again. So checks.
A home team reigns supreme. These teams are about even this year, honestly.
Yeah.
But I don't know
that score.
Right. But sure. Thanks. Yeah, exactly.
13-9 for anybody who didn't know.
No, gosh. No, but I was going to say, I still think I would actually put North Dakota State number 2 in the country. And I think Montana State's the number 1 team in the country right now, which is a little bit weird to me still. Like, I don't really want to say that with my chest necessarily, because like the Big Sky is kind of weak. Because I mean, look at Weber State, Sacramento State. What the hell is this?
51-48 Sacramento State victory. Yeah. Congrats on picking that one correctly, Tug.
Yeah, wild. But like everybody else in the Big Sky, I don't have a whole lot of confidence in. Idaho kind of fell off. UC Davis, yeah, they're kind of there, but I don't know if they've really played anybody great yet.
Montana's just kind of there.
Montana has a loss now in conference. And, yeah, I guess Montana State looks phenomenal. I don't know. It still feels like it's the Dakota States to lose in the FCS this year.
Absolutely.
Probably. But I think at least for this week, I'd probably rank Montana State number 1 in the country.
I could see that.
And last but not least, our final game from last week, UNLV at Oregon State. This one was on the CW. It was a weird one. I turned it on at work, and people were like, "The CW has sports?" And I said, "Yes, yes, they do.
They have one game a week.
Greatest sports of all time."
And this game lived up to the CW hype. UNLV winning 33-25. Of course, we all picked UNLV, but I'm still a little surprised at the result.
I'm not necessarily.
I'm not, because it was on the CW, and that UNLV offense is something insane this year.
Yeah. If you have
the game was in Corvallis,
by the way, the CW is the home of every
weird,
insane result that you can imagine.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah, games on the CW always turn out interesting. For some
reason. I got an obligatory go Cox here. Jacksonville State just scored a touchdown against MTSU.
Let's go.
Time to bet.
Which puts our standings on the week. Oh boy, it ain't much. For Tug.
This is the first week I've gone below 500.
Welcome to the club.
The normal, actually, it ain't much, but it's honest work for Bug. About 500.
Yeah,
we'll give it to you. And then it much. It's honest work.
It much. Doug, welcome back to the top spot. I will take that back right now.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm closing in pretty good. We'll take it for now.
Yeah.
Still above 60%.
I am now officially not confident in any of these Thursday or Friday picks. Just that my history on Thursday or Friday is not good. So if you're going with me, I'm sorry.
Well, almost all of us are going with Georgia Southern at Old Dominion.
Well, we've learned to not pick against Georgia Southern. So at least
Doug apparently hasn't.
Correct. I have not learned this lesson. Also, I really like Old Dominion this year.
I know you do. And I know that's why you picked them.
Yeah, I can't explain it very well, but I just like them.
They have a couple third to fifth round linebackers on that team.
They
somewhere.
Do. Legitimately, they're really good, okay? And also, my first road to glory, I was a running back for Old Dominion. It was a great time.
I just got to say, we're all going with Pitt, so I would love to hear Mug's explanation on why he's not taking the orange.
Why I'm not taking the orange?
Yeah.
I mean, they're 5-1, but I think they've squeaked out some wins. I think Pitt.
I mean, they squeaked out some wins too.
Yeah, but take away their top 25 standing right now. I think it's more definitive wins. I just don't like Syracuse here. I'm going to Pitt. I think Thursday night game usually, if it's any top 25 team at home, they usually get the job done. So
I will say, if this game was in Syracuse, I'd be taking Syracuse. And I think I
Same.
say that every time I pick against the Orange, but it needs to be
Yes, you do.
restated here more than anything.
Well, we will be at this game tomorrow night. Very much looking forward to this.
Hell yeah.
Parking is going to be triple the cost of the tickets because we got a good deal on tickets. But the parking is pretty bad downtown Pittsburgh. So looking forward to that.
Tickets only cost you a blowjob a piece, and parking, man. Whew. Anyway.
Yep.
I have learned my lesson with BC. You cannot make me take Boston College again.
I'm not making you, but I am taking them myself. Tell you that much.
You're gonna like your choice. You're gonna like your choice.
I had a feeling that was coming too.
Look, this is a 50-50 pick now because you're telling me I'm going to like it. Louisville should win, but it's a Friday night game, and my history of picking Friday night games is not good.
Correct. That's exactly why I picked Boston College. I saw you were taking Louisville. Hell yes.
There's
we're
one
taking
slide.
the Eagles.
There is one game on this slide I'm confident in, and I don't see any way UNLV stops Genty. There's just cool. They have a high-powered offense. That's great.
Yeah.
That's fine. They might not stop Genty.
Right.
But I want to see Boise State stop this entire UNLV offense.
Which they couldn't stop Georgia Southern. So, I mean, Boise State still won that game. But if it's a 50-something to 50-something game,
give me a 6
I'm taking
TD.
the Rebels.
Give me 6 TDs for Genty.
Yeah, then give me 7 for Haj Malik Williams.
And give me 8 for Genty.
Give me 9 for Haj Malik Williams.
You telling me Genty's going to have a better game than any game Barry Sanders had in 1988?
Well, he's about to have a better season than any season Barry Sanders has ever had.
Doubt it, but maybe.
He's on
Would
pace.
be really cool, but probably not.
I bet he does.
He is on pace right
now. Travis Hunter's comments, I believe, will be that final stone. So,
final fire under Genty's ass.
Yep.
Well, he just stands there anyway.
What's true? Yeah. Yeah.
And last but not least, on Friday night, we have Rutgers taking on USC at 11 p.m. start time.
SC has to find a Big Ten win, right? It's got to be against Rutgers.
Big Ten after dark.
Both coming off losses.
Both coming off of tough losses too.
Yeah.
It's at USC.
I say you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to pick Rutgers traveling all the way across the country. If SC were traveling to Rutgers again, if they went back from Maryland and then went back out to New Jersey, I'd pick Rutgers.
Well, yeah, because then you got the Schiano effect at home,
which hasn't helped them so far this month.
Week.
But
we also highlighted it is October Rutgers at this point.
Well, that's a new thing that I just coined, so you didn't know about that when you made the pick. Nebraska at Ohio State. Funniest thing I saw.
Why are we talking about this one?
Well, it purely because I saw this interaction on X. It was fantastic. There's an account, CFB Home, makes picks for every game, and he gives score predictions too. So his score prediction for this one was 56-10, Ohio State. And then the Barstool Nebraska account said, bullshit, no way we're scoring a field goal.
That's right. I saw you threw that one down in the Discord.
So, yeah, we're all taking the Buckeyes to bounce back after a bye week. A little chance to recover after Oregon. They're going to take some frustrations out on the Huskers. Unfortunately
I bet they've been itching since the day after they lost.
Oh, they've been itching ever since the final second ticked off the clock.
Yep.
Man.
Notre Dame against Navy at MetLife Stadium. This is let's just say that Mug and I end up being correct, right? Notre Dame then has the opportunity to go undefeated the remainder of the way and go to the American Athletic Conference Championship game. A two-loss Notre Dame team is sorry, yeah, maybe not Notre Dame. A two-loss Notre Dame team has probably worked themselves out of a college football playoff berth without being in a conference. I'd say probably
if Army's still undefeated and they beat Army.
I would say probably.
I don't know.
Well, hold on. I'm getting there. It's probably about a 75% chance, right?
Yeah.
And yes, they do have to play Army, which at that point, if Army is still undefeated, yes, maybe they do work their way back in. But let's just go out ahead and say that Army wins. We then have an undefeated Army-Navy conference championship game, the winner of which will likely go to the college football playoff. And then they'll play each other again, and we could see the two teams flip-flop wins. Then what does the committee do?
Put them both in the playoff in the first round.
This is not an original thought. I'm sure everybody's seen it or thought it or been like, people are starting to come around to this idea. This is going to be, I think, one of the most watched games this week, and it's not just because it's Notre Dame. It's not just because it's Navy. It's because of all the implications surrounding it.
With all of that said, as great as that would be, Notre Dame is still a more talented team. They've already done their one cough-up of the year that they're good for. This is the toughest opponent Navy will have played to this point, and I think Notre Dame.
Memphis.
He's not wrong.
This is
not really.
It's going to be a test for Navy, and if they come out, all those things are great. I just don't see it happening this week.
I agree, but I don't know if I don't think it'll be easy for Notre Dame. Put it that way.
It's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
I legitimately, when I look at their schedule, though, I think Navy's more likely to lose to Tulane than they are to Notre Dame.
Okay. Weird tangent, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know that I agree, but also why? I mean, what matchup does Tulane have that Notre Dame doesn't have with Navy?
Tulane has played Navy every year for like the past 5 years.
So Notre Dame's played Navy for like every other year for the past 50.
Yeah. The one thing I will give you is that Benjamin Morrison is hurt now. He's Notre Dame's best defensive player. So the secondary's weaker than it has been. But also it's Navy. So how much does that matter?
They have been passing a lot more this year.
A lot more in service academy terms means
yes.
At least twice a game now. So that's cool for Navy. But I'm picking the Irish for sure. But I think it'll be a hard fought 2-score game is my real prediction there.
I could see that.
That was a lot more analysis than we usually do, but I had to defend myself.
Doug,
and then here we are, Washington at Indiana.
What are you seeing with the Huskies here, man? Indiana's
I'm not
coming
seeing
off
anything
a high.
with the Huskies. I'm seeing that Curtis Rourke is injured. And I don't know how much that affects Indiana, but I saw how much it affected Ohio when Curtis Rourke couldn't go. And let me tell you, Ohio
still
couldn't
scarred
move
about
the ball a lick. So I'm going to take a gander at Indiana here and say you lose your 6th-year senior quarterback who's been operating your offense at peak efficiency all season for a guy who hasn't played at all. I don't trust that offense now. We've seen Washington show up for big games. Not like this is the greatest Washington team of all time, but Will Rogers is pretty good. And I don't know. Indiana's probably going to win, but I think there's a real shot, and I wanted to highlight that, especially with Rourke going down. This is a big one.
This feels like a holdover of your bitterness from Ohio every time Rourke went down out there.
Maybe.
It's just what it feels
Maybe
like.
it is. Georgia Tech at Virginia Tech. The battle of
We're all
ACC
going with the
Techs.
Hokies.
The big old turkeys. Yeah. Here's one thing I wanted to talk about with Virginia Tech that we haven't really touched on this year. Virginia Tech is like legitimately 3 plays away from being undefeated right now. So as much as people talk about how they're not living up to their preseason expectations, everybody even knew in the preseason this was like a dark horse ACC pick. They're 3 plays away from being undefeated right now. And one of those probably should have been called in Virginia Tech's favor and instead was called from Miami. So let's give the Hokies their due here. I say.
Yeah, and Georgia Tech's cooled off. So absolutely I'm looking at Virginia Tech in this game.
And Haynes King is out. So Georgia Tech's offense will be slightly limited.
Yep.
North Carolina at Virginia on the CW. Doug, I'm assuming that's why you took North Carolina. Mug, what are you seeing with the Tar Heels here?
I just still don't believe in Virginia.
It's valid.
I think Hampton is still a great option to have, and I mean, I think if they keep possession of the ball with Hampton, I think they have a chance to get it done.
But hear me out. Have you seen how fucking bad North Carolina has been this year?
Yes. Yeah.
But it's on the CW.
It is on the CW.
No, North Carolina does suck. It's also Virginia.
It is also Virginia. That's very accurate.
Doug, stop giving those thickos games.
Why not? They're entertaining as hell.
This is fair.
Buffalo at Ohio, 12 p.m. on CBS Sportsnet. I'm sticking with tradition and taking Ohio.
Road.
Yeah.
Wild. What are you thinking?
I really wasn't. I told.
He's taking my method.
Yeah.
I told Doug here that I was like, honestly, that was the one that I didn't feel confident about either one. So that was a flip there.
Yep.
I respect
That's
it,
fair.
honestly. It works in the MAC sometimes.
It works a lot.
Oh, man. Tulane at North Texas.
Calling the
Most
upset.
of us are taking the green wave on the road.
No, I like North Texas. I think they're not as good as they were the last couple of years, but I still think they got it in.
See, and we thought Tulane wasn't going to be as good as they were the past couple of years.
Right.
And they have gone out and proved us absolutely wrong.
Then they
And the past couple of years, they've been better than North Texas anyway.
Right, for sure.
It's definitely going to be interesting.
I also really don't trust the North Texas defense to do anything good ever. So if Tulane can stop them twice, they'll win for sure.
Well, and I think that's the other interesting thing that you got to look at here too. North Texas, their offense was able to score a bunch of points. They weren't able to stop Memphis for shit. And their offense was still very prone to making mistakes. The game actually ended with an interception by Chandler Martin. They got themselves in very bad positions and then got lucky. I mean, twice in one drive where you're looking at 3rd and long and then 4th and long, that's not a recipe for success. That's more luck than actually being good on their part. Man, Tulane should have beaten Kansas State, so I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. The American Athletic Conference is still a wild place. But it seems like it's coming out of Army and Navy this year, which is
the
even
most
crazier.
wild of all. Yeah.
Oh, geez. Maine at Rhode Island. I don't know what to do with the Rams here because I feel
constantly
like they're going to give way eventually.
I constantly forget that the Black Bears actually have a team that plays football. So yeah, we're gonna go with the Rams here.
Damn. All right.
Rude.
Yeah.
I'm from New England, and
Sheesh.
I forget that Maine has a football team.
I mean,
You're not
Maine's
from New
basically
England.
Canada.
You're from Rhode Island.
That's part of New England.
No, it's not. It's part of Bullshitville.
I'll give it to you.
Your state is smaller than the chair I'm sitting on. It doesn't count. Good sir.
I went into a different state to get around traffic to get to your house faster.
Yes. Fair.
Your wedding venue was in 2 different states at the same time.
Also valid.
It couldn't all fit in Rhode Island.
Right. It couldn't all, it was one golf course. It couldn't fit in the state of Rhode Island.
Now they have 4 FCS schools.
Yeah.
In the state.
But not
they're
at the
not
same
just
time.
stacked on top of each other. not all at once.
Butler at Davidson. I have learned my lesson. I'm not taking the Bulldogs. Also, Davidson, even with that loss to Dayton, is still kind of up there in the Pioneer. I feel like I've said this about a couple of different teams every week now. So maybe it's losing its luster for folks. At the same time, the Pioneer League race is fascinating this year. And I don't know who's going to come out on top for sure, especially because Drake kind of already got through the toughest part of their schedule, but Dayton and Davidson are still going at it. So we'll see what happens here. I'm going with Davidson at home. It's in North Carolina, and I'm sick of the Bulldogs.
Butler's got to get it right at some point. This is their
Butler
get right game.
Davidson sounds like a third round March Madness game that both teams are on their Cinderella run and somebody's going to ruin it. And it's crazy that we're picking it for football, and we have about the spread I would expect as if we were picking a basketball game too, where we're 50 on it.
It will not score as much as that March Madness game.
No, it will not.
San Diego at St. Thomas. I know everybody is going to go with the Tommies for old time's sake. You have to understand this is not the same St. Thomas team we've seen the past couple of years. They have been taking some L's, dude. And I really like the direction the Terros are going. I don't know if San Diego can pull this one out in particular, but I'm rooting for them, and I'm picking them here.
Dartmouth at Columbia. 3 of us are going with Keggy. And I think it might be because Mugg doesn't understand the power that Dartmouth has had in the Ivy League this year.
And he didn't know that Keggy was the mascot.
Yeah, this is a complete flip. So you got me.
We've all done it.
Hey, you never know though. What happens in Columbia stays in Columbia. So.
It's definitely a saying, yes.
It's just studying. That's just for anybody questioning, it's just studying.
Yep. Holy Cross at Lafayette. I keep waiting for Holy Cross to turn it on this year. It just hasn't happened. So
and that's why I'm going with them. I knew you would turn off your faith, and that's when Holy Cross turns it around. We're going to capitalize.
Yeah, I've been waiting for Fordham to turn around too, and they're 0-7, so whatever.
Yeah, and Lafayette, on the other hand, has completely turned it around. So,
yes.
I'm just saying.
And it's at Lafayette. I feel good about my chances there, particularly. Looking forward to that one.
Absolutely.
As Holy Cross wipes the field with them, guaranteed now. Go ahead, bet on that. Central Michigan at Miami of Ohio. I'm still pulling for the Redhawks to figure it out and come out with the MAC title somehow after an 0-3 start.
I think it's Tug's turn for sadness with Central Michigan. Doug, you and I have both learned our lessons. So, Tug, thank you for taking the L here.
Look. You guys say that like I don't randomly pick the directional Michigan schools to win a game out of nowhere.
and
that they absolutely should not wear. That they should absolutely not win. I did it last week with Western. We're gonna keep the streak going here with Central.
It is
sounds
the MAC,
very familiar
so
to the past 2 weeks when we picked Central.
You're forgetting the key point, Bug, where it is the MAC.
Yeah.
Automatically a 50-50 game. Doesn't matter anything else.
East Tennessee at Wofford. I'm finally picking the Terriers, and I'm alone in this. It's scary.
I was gonna say, do you feel alone and afraid?
I'm sorry, Wofford. ETSU has been impressive at times this year, and Wofford was a flash in the pan at this point. That's how you have to look at it.
You said the magic words, though. ETSU's flashed at times this year. This is
Wofford flashed once.
Wofford's flashed twice.
So they got the red rocket
at
twice,
multiple times. At times, maybe.
Yeah. Which means I'm going with the home team. Fuck you all.
All right. I just realized St. Francis at Robert Morris, a game, Doug, that I believe you two are going to as well. We can only watch it on rmukernels.com.
As far as I can find, the only place you can watch it live is on Robert Morris's website, rmukernels.com. I could not find any other service. No, as far as I could tell, it's free on the athletic department website, as most of their sporting events are.
Oh my God.
So feel free to tune in, and you might see us in the crowd, because I imagine the crowd's not going to be very big.
What's parking for that game? Free?
I hope so. It's not downtown Pittsburgh, I know that. So it's probably
get on campus.
Closer to free. Yeah. But wait, go back to that. Why are you guys picking St. Francis? They absolutely suck.
So does
because
Robert
we had
Morris.
said something about Robert Morris, who didn't they lose to a D2 school earlier this year?
Yeah, and then now they're like 5-3 somehow.
Yeah, a 50-50 game.
Okay.
Gut check says St. Francis.
My gut check says the NEC absolutely sucks, and Robert
the
Morris
NEC just needs to go back to Division II as a whole.
Well, yeah, most of them were Division II like 2-3 years ago. It's understandable.
We don't want you.
Which makes what's coming up even crazier. But before we get there, Bucknell at Georgetown. Once again, I'm taking Bucknell because I like the logo more than anything, and I don't get to use it very often.
I knew that's why you put this game in here, and so I picked Georgetown out of spite.
Why'd you take the Hoyas?
I don't know much about them.
Just fair. Princeton at Harvard.
I'm going to go ahead and guess this is a lack of trust for Harvard from Bug.
Oh, yeah. They've done nothing but disappoint me this year.
And I'm saying they have to turn around at some point. It's going to be this week against Princeton.
And I'm saying Princeton has disappointed way worse than Harvard has.
I mean, yeah.
Look, the fact that Brown's somehow in the lead for, competing for the Ivy League is weird, and we don't ever want to talk about it again.
They're not. It's Dartmouth and Columbia by a mile right now. It's wild. Who let Dartmouth and Columbia be good at the same time? What the hell?
Now Brown was good to start the year too.
I was going to say the same person that told Brown they could win 2 games in a row.
Gross.
Next you're going to tell me that Cornell's undefeated or something.
Well, thank goodness that hasn't happened. It'll be a snowy day in hell before that happens. Western Illinois at Lindenwood. Feels like another game Western Illinois might be able to pull out of their hat.
I agree.
Which is crazy because Western Illinois went on a 2.5-year losing streak before this year.
That was in the Missouri Valley, though. Like, we got to stop judging them based off of the pseudo yes teams.
But also, they lost every game for 2.5 years.
They played other teams. They played other teams too.
Not many, though.
They still had chances to not suck that bad.
I remember when I informed Mug of Western Illinois' existence, And that week, he's like, I think they have a good shot. I think they might win that game. And they got beat the shit out of. It was a good.
Was it that Western Illinois?
Oh yeah, it definitely was Western Illinois. Let me find out what game that was exactly. It's worth it.
And this week they're playing Lindenwood, a former D2 school. And of course, that means Doug and I are going with Lindenwood.
Yeah, that was the Indiana game actually. And it was 77-3 Indiana.
I picked Western Illinois once this year, and I was told there was no chance, and they pulled it off. So we're gonna ride the wave one more time. We're gonna test and see how far this wave takes us.
Good luck.
It's not often the wannabe Marines get to be on the slide, so we'll give them a chance.
Who else doesn't get to be on the slide too much? Illinois, because most of the time we pick them to lose every time they're here, and it happened again. They're heading out to Autzen.
I've actually picked Illinois, I think, every time they've been on the slides.
Yeah, you're the only one.
This might be the first time I have little to no faith in them.
Which means, in true Big Ten fashion, this will be the one that they pull out of nowhere.
If
Should
Illinois
not be.
pulls this one off,
that would be pure Maction right there, not Big Ten action.
Yeah, if
This
they
is,
pull this one off in Eugene, holy shit! Build the statue for Brett Bielema.
If they do that, Illinois is winning the Big Ten. Illinois is winning the Natty this year. If they pull this one off.
Yeah. They're definitely going to the playoff. We can agree on that.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
I mean, shit, they might anyway.
We are all picking the Ducks. BYU
with their cute little sailor hat.
Yeah. Logo's getting more and more unhinged as we go through the season for Oregon. Don't worry, they get even crazier. BYU at UCF this weekend. UCF is favored by 3 points right now, last I looked. But BYU is still undefeated.
I was going to say, isn't BYU sitting atop the Big 12?
Well, it's them and Iowa State, both undefeated right now.
Weird.
I know.
UCF hasn't played a defense like BYU, and that I think is going to make a difference. Also, completely unrelated to football, but fuck Mikey Williams. I hope UCF basketball loses every game they play this year.
Fair enough. Oh, you see in UCF?
Huh?
What do you see in UCF?
I don't know. I knew they were coming off a few close losses. Iowa State. I think Iowa State's a pretty good team. I think all their losses have come within either a one or two possessions. So I think they can pull this one out. But BYU is undefeated. I think they're top 10 or 15.
Yeah.
We'll just see how they do on the road.
Yeah, it's a long trip for them, for sure.
Defense travels. And they also have a cute little sailor hat on, which is why I picked Mizzou against Alabama. Because while I don't believe that Mizzou actually could win this one, I had to keep the hat theme going, and I knew nobody else would. I got it. I will also say, thank you. I will also say, as I said earlier, this team goes as Brady Cook goes. I have more faith in him than I do in Jalen Milrose. I do think a lot of Alabama's problems have come from that spot, as well as the fact that this isn't Nick Saban's Alabama team, and they seem a little out of control at times, and it's come back to bite them in the ass every time.
What's even crazier to me, though, is that you picked Missouri willingly of your own accord in a game where you didn't have to.
Yeah.
I also firmly believe that Alabama's got at least one more loss in them this year.
Yeah, I
the Iron
that
Bowl
will be
We've
either
already talked about
the Iron Bowl or Oklahoma, because Oklahoma sucks, and it's the week before the Iron Bowl, and they're going to overlook them. But we'll see.
But yeah,
Well,
Mizzou had a logo with a cute little hat on it too, so I had to throw that on there. Just saying.
Who else does Alabama have on the schedule this year? Before we move on real quick, they have another. Yeah, they're at LSU after this Missouri game.
Yeah,
that would be tough.
Alabama tends to play well in Death Valley.
I agree.
Nick Saban's Alabama tends to play well in Death Valley.
Right. Exactly.
Valid.
And that's really where all of my doubts with Alabama come from. Is anybody that's watched Alabama play this year can tell you how different this team looks. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's odd. It's very odd.
50-50 split for a couple of games to start off this slide here. Maryland at Minnesota, and then Oklahoma State at Baylor. Big 10, Big 12 action. We're going nuts.
Are we though? I mean, we're split 50-50 on both of these. Tug, you and I are going with Maryland, and Mug, you and I are going with Oklahoma State.
Why are you guys going with the Terps? Let's start there.
Because they have passed the baton of October team to Rutgers. And Maryland's actually looked pretty good the past couple weeks. You give me this. Go ahead. Say what you got to say.
You didn't know that until I brought it up earlier this show. You didn't make this pick because of that logic.
No, honestly, it's been what I've seen Maryland put together the past few weeks. They've actually looked pretty solid, pulling off some wins I didn't expect from them. I expect this trend to continue. I know Minnesota plays well at home, and that's kind of the path I see for them. But I'm going to go with the Terps.
I mean, you can say they play well at home, except for that dumb loss against North Carolina week 0.
Week 0 doesn't count.
Again, for me, it's just they've been a little surprising. Minnesota has too. I just have more faith in Maryland.
I've been a Max Brosmer fan since his time at New Hampshire, and I have really enjoyed seeing him lead the offense at Minnesota the same exact way he did at New Hampshire, which is mostly run the ball up the middle every single time, even if it's a quarterback sneak, and just fight for yards like a madman all the time. And that makes me want to root for the Golden Gophers. Maryland is not the same. They have been so heavily reliant on the passing game, and without Tagovailoa there, it's just ain't right.
Is he concussed too?
Talia Tagovailoa graduated.
Oh, fair enough.
Good sir.
Oh my God.
Just trying to figure out if it was genetic.
Which means he should be signed by the Dolphins. But
and then not wear a Guardian cap. Anyway, Oklahoma State at Baylor. Oklahoma State's more talented than Baylor. That's really what
Oklahoma State's also over in the Big 12 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Also true.
And Baylor is favored by 7 points. That bullshit.
This pick for me is the culmination of everything this year of us saying Oklahoma State with Ollie Gordon had a chance to make a run for the playoff. And just the ultimate letdown that the Big 12 season has been for them. They need to win a game, and if this is it, cool, then I might start looking at them again. But they need to win a game in conference for me to pick them in a conference game.
You're going with big old Pete here. What are you thinking?
Pete? Is that the nickname?
Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete.
I didn't know that.
Well, there you go.
Look, it's really easy. Anybody with a cowboy logo, the cowboy's name is Pistol Pete. Looks the same, his colors just change.
Yep. But Texas Tech TCU, the Red Raiders have been on a little bit of a tear recently. Except I'm going with the Horned Frogs for wacky Big 12 reasons and no other logic went into this.
That's fair. It's about time for Texas Tech to come back to earth. I can see that.
I just haven't heard enough about either team to really want to go TCU's way. That's really all it comes down to there.
Are they wearing the blood uniforms, the Blood Frogs?
I don't think so.
All right.
I feel like I would have heard about that by now.
That makes me a little bit more concerned if they were actually wearing the Blood Frogs.
Fair. One of the biggest
you
rivalries
really hate
in the middle of the country. Bowling Green at Toledo.
Man, no one believed in them.
Yeah.
I'm still rolling with them.
Yeah.
I know I wasn't on the slides last week, but definitely had to root for Bowling Green. But I like Bowling Green. I think they're still going to get it done.
I mean, Harold Fannin Jr. is one of the best players in the country. So just guarding him will be a problem for the Rockets. At the same time, you have to appreciate a rivalry so intense that a big part of Toledo's stadium is simply having a rocket outside of it pointed directly at Bowling Green's 50-yard line. It's phenomenal. Love that very much.
What?
Yeah, what?
Do we have pictures?
I don't in the slides. I can show you in the Discord later.
All right.
Yeah.
I need to see.
They have a rocket that's pointed at Bowling Green State's 50-yard line.
Nice.
like a surface-to-surface missile.
Love it. Love this.
I love college football.
It's at the Glass Bowl. We're taking the Rockets.
You have to.
Yeah.
Unless you're Mug, then you don't.
Yep. Which I do love Harold Fannin Jr., but also I picked Toledo to potentially win the MAC again, which is dumb, but still theoretically possible. So keeping hopes alive. And holy shit, Kennesaw State just beat Liberty. They're Kennesaw State's first win of the season. And it's undefeated Liberty, 27-24 right now.
Liberty, the favorite for Group of 5 teams to go to the college football playoff this year.
Doug, you owe Kennesaw State an apology on the air right now.
Fucking shit.
No, he doesn't.
I owe Liberty a fuck you. That's what I owe. Liberty sucks dicks. That's what we learned today.
Absolutely. What the fuck is that?
Oh, man. All right. Wagner at UMass. We're picking 3:30 ESPN Plus.
This feels like a I just hate UMass pick.
Not really. It's not about me hating UMass. It's more about me thinking, wouldn't it be hilarious if Wagner could pull this out?
You pulled the same shit with Kennesaw State and it worked in your favor.
Who knows? We'll see what happens. I'm rooting for Wagner.
The Wagner group.
It's all right. I have basically the same type of pick here of taking a flyer on UNH, split it up a little bit, see what happens. Absolutely should be Villanova winning this game. But sometimes the CAA can get just a little weird, and these are the matchups you look for that.
No, you're just picking New Hampshire because Rhode Island beat the shit out of them. And so if New Hampshire beats Villanova, you're going to feel better about Rhode Island winning the CAA.
No, I'll feel better about that when we get closer to the end of the year.
You
Fair
say
enough.
that. And the rest of us are going with Nova for obvious reasons.
Yeah. This is the Moog slide.
Was
motherfucker, you gave me 56 games to choose.
So we all went with William and Mary, but then Mug decided, hey, Stony Brook's the hell of a team.
Oh, hold up.
Hey, looking at last week, this might work out for him.
They're coming off a great win, a win that everyone thought they were going to lose. So obviously they know, they hear your words. They fucking hear them.
Hey, if we are locker room material for Stony Brook, please come on the show and talk shit to us.
All I'm going to say about the next one is it's Mercer. So you can say it's Western Carolina. I think this is going to be a shit show of a game. The Alabama A&M, I know nothing about.
Fair enough. No, Mercer is a top 10 team this year, dude. They got a hell of a defense.
They got a hell of a
I do
defense.
not trust Western Carolina, even though they returned most of the offense that was so exhilarating last year. They made me want to root for them this year. They started off slow. They've been getting better, but I don't think it's enough to take down Mercer.
Yeah, and I keep talking about the Mercer drop-off's going to happen. The Mercer drop-off's going to happen. I'm not dumb enough to sit here and say maybe it doesn't happen this year. I feel like that's idiotic to say, to put all your faith in one basket that it's finally over. But what I will say is I just don't trust Western Carolina at all this year.
Yeah. And then Alabama State at Alabama A&M. We've been watching Alabama State the past 2 years, really, liking what we see. But they're both kind of in no man's land in the SWAC right now. Neither one of them have beaten anybody particularly good. This will kind of be the first litmus test in my mind of who is an actual competitor for anything in the SWAC and who is going to get left behind.
Yeah, 100%.
Moving right along, Oregon State at Cal. All y'all going with the Beavers. I still believe. I'm a true believer.
A believer? Are you a believer?
In the Cal algorithm.
I'm just saying. Oregon State played phenomenal against a very good UNLV team. They likely want to show up a bigger non-conference opponent this week.
Former conference opponent.
No. It's not conference. That's all that matters at this point.
Yep.
The Pac-12's on life support.
It really is.
Tarleton State at Austin P.
Let's go, P.
Let's go, P.
I knew it. I fucking told you. It's the only reason they're taking the bullshit governors.
Yes. I'm tired of picking purple teams. I'm sure it is. I'm tired of picking purple teams.
But the purple teams have been good this year.
I know.
Exactly.
Purple power.
McNeese at Nichols. Me and Mo going with Cowboys.
Why?
Y'all going with the Colonels. Why are you going with the Colonels?
Have you seen what their offense has been able to do this year?
Yeah, like 2 games.
Honestly, some of this is a little bit of the holdover for me. The LSU game really sticks out to me.
Where you thought McNeese, you thought Nichols could actually hold their own, and then they got beaten by 3 scores.
Correct, and everyone,
you were impressed with that so much that you're going to pick them to beat McNeese.
Yeah,
who is the better team?
No.
Okay. If you guys need to watch more McNeese games, they're better than you're giving them credit.
No, I don't have time to watch all the games you pick for us to pick.
Figure it out.
You need 10 screens up at once.
Okay. It's not my fault if you don't have 10 screens.
Don't have unlimited screens.
Yep.
Texas.
Yep. We're all going with Texas.
Yeah.
All right.
Does Vanderbilt have any magic left? Are they going to win another game this year in the SEC?
Well, I was just going to say that a team that just played Georgia at home is now traveling to Vanderbilt. Last time that happened, it did not work out well for that team.
That is true, but also the last time that happened, that team beat Georgia and then had trouble with Vanderbilt.
No, this is definitely a get right. This is a get right game for Texas. They're going to come out, and I almost feel a little sorry for Vanderbilt for what Texas should be doing in this game.
Let's go. Mug is on the New Mexico Lobos train.
Absolutely.
Yeah, catch this game on Altitude Sports of all networks, whatever channel that is for whoever.
Can we stop picking bottom dwellers in the Mountain West, though?
No,
we're picking New Mexico all year.
Both of these teams are 1-5 in the Mountain West, or 1-6 overall. I think they're 1 in whatever in the Mountain West.
No, that is just straight up not.
You are way off.
I looked it up. Their
both of these teams are 4. Both these teams are it's 3-4 versus 4-3, and I'm thinking both teams are leaving 4-4 with a conference loss. Colorado State hasn't lost a conference game yet.
Yeah.
Are they not? Oh.
No.
Yeah. So take that.
This is a weird thing to say because New Mexico has not been good recently, but this is the first test for CSU in conference.
You say they haven't been good. Their offense has been phenomenal. It's been New Mexico's defense is the problem, and I don't know that Colorado State can win a shootout.
Exactly.
But we'll find out here. And the first time we're really picking a Louisiana Monroe game, I think in at least a year, UL Monroe at South Alabama. Louisiana Monroe's 5-1.
Yeah, I can be a South Alabama hater again because they're not going to beat UL Monroe here.
I honestly picked South Alabama specifically because I know you hate them so much and I enjoy when they upset you.
I mean, I'll just be more stunned than anything.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. I asked Mug why he's taking South Alabama, and he said, because it's fucking Louisiana Monroe. And you know what?
Generally right.
South Alabama is a good team. I think they put up a lot of points this year. Their defense is good enough to hold subpar teams to low numbers. So that's what I'm going with.
Here's the thing. They were good when they had Kane Womack, but now he's the defensive coordinator at Alabama and sucking at that job.
Did he leave last year?
He left in this offseason to pass off. Yeah. So you don't know shit.
Well, fuck me then. All right.
I've decided to pick against Arizona, and I'm picking the Mountaineers again. So more heartbreak for me. Can't wait.
Good luck. I thought West Virginia should probably win this game. Therefore, I'm picking Arizona.
Yeah, I have no faith in Arizona this year. I
have no faith in either of these teams. This is a Big 12 matchup. There's no faith to go around.
West Virginia has the capability to win a good game. Arizona, I thought they did. I thought they had all the capability in the world to win good games, but they just don't. So
yeah, I thought they might be a contender for the Big 12, honestly. Like, they returned some serious talent at a couple of really key positions. But, man, they have not put it together. It's unreal.
Sacramento State at Idaho State. Sacramento State at Idaho State. Of course, they're going to have to go to that dome for Idaho State. But, man, Sac State's looked really good this year.
At times. Sacramento State has also let themselves get distracted a little bit in this season, feels like.
Absolutely.
And some games they turn it on, and some games they just can't figure it out. And so if there's going to be a game they can't figure it out, it very well might be in a dome out in Idaho State.
And the probably last time we're going to talk about FSU.
This is your fault, by the way.
This is 100% my fault. So
we're taking Florida State until they lose again.
Yep. Let me take this one. They're sitting at 1-6. They lose again, they will not make a bowl game, guaranteed.
Yep.
Mike Norvell needs to find 3-2-1 Knoll and give him a big old kiss because that dude is saving his ass right now for not eating dog shit. Because if that man had eaten the dog poop and they were still bad, nobody would be blaming anybody but Mike Norvell. And I legitimately have not seen people blaming Norvell. Everybody's putting all the bad juju on one. You think I'm kidding?
I know. I know you're being legit.
Oh, but the guy who said I'd eat dog shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And really, I mean, maybe Seminoles fans will stop trying to pay his debt for him. You know, I've seen a couple people do that. But man, it's
brothers action.
Oh yeah, Red Solo Cup with a spoon. Yeah, it's bad. Of course, we're all taking Miami. Why wouldn't we? But This is absolutely insane for a team to go undefeated the year prior.
I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be a one-score game.
It probably will be. That's Miami.
That is Miami's curse. You are correct.
Yeah, it's going to be a one-score game.
But it's just
Florida State's going to be 3 and Miami's going to be 10. It's
just wild to me.
It would be awesome.
It's wild to me if they went undefeated last year, and then we're a preseason number 10.
Yeah.
To then end up 1-6, staring down the barrel of missing a bowl game. It's just insane.
Great meme that DJ Uyunglele is going to miss the rest of the season in preparation for his CDL exam.
He's finally going to get a job.
Swift is really getting a good one.
I almost took Utah State. Then I looked at where this game was and quickly changed my mind. I hate Wyoming, though.
I picked this game because it feels like we need to spend more time in the bottom of the Mountain West, just as Tug requested.
Dude, the only win Wyoming has in the Mountain West right now is against Air Force.
Crazy.
I hate it. I hate this year. Okay, this year has been bad for football for me in every corner. I don't like it.
It really has. I feel bad for you. But at the same time, I wanted to pick this game because I think it'll be actually a pretty fun game to watch. Utah State at Wyoming, what we're talking about. We're all taking Wyoming, though. What were you thinking with this one, Mug? Anything interesting with Utah State? Or you just...
No, I don't like Utah State.
Fair.
I kind of like you were already saying it's at Wyoming. I think it was Tug that you said, it's at Wyoming. I'm going with Wyoming. I don't think Utah State travels. I don't think they travel to their own stadium, but
no.
I mean,
Well, worse than that, nobody travels to Wyoming except Idaho,
Right.
apparently.
Yeah, right. Unreal. We're picking another Southeastern Louisiana game until we get one right. Because the line
So we went 50-50, and this week we'll get one right.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting it right, and then we'll be done with this fucking team. Oh, my God.
This is also the classic matchup that got me in love with Cam Ward way back in the day when he was on the Cardinals.
I remember that.
And all these games against Southeastern Louisiana were hyped as hell, dude. I can't wait for this matchup. If nothing else, for remembering those good old days.
God, that was 4 or 5 years ago.
Hey, let's talk about another game that we definitely didn't pick to get the stank off of us. Southern at Florida A&M. And we went 50-50 here again as well. So we're not going to get Jaguared.
We knew the job.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. I really hope the Rattlers pull this out. That would suck if Southern beats me again.
It's been so long since Southern's been exciting, though.
Right.
So it's exciting that they're
exciting.
I feel
like I don't know if they're still any exciting at all. It's just they're winning, I guess. That counts for something. Fuck Southern, dude. All right. Now some interesting ones. Penn State, Wisconsin.
Penn State.
Yeah.
With the best college football game day ritual of jump around, you're taking Wisconsin. I'm proud of you. Thanks for coming to the dark side.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ben is also taking Penn State.
Yeah, I say that, but I'm also taking Penn State. Yeah, exactly. Because jump around ain't shit. It's a shitty game day tradition.
Yeah.
Doug, what are you seeing?
I agree with that. I am seeing a Wisconsin team that has gotten unbelievably better the last couple of weeks as opposed to where they started the year. And I'm seeing a Penn State team that still does all the same bullshit that gets Penn State in trouble every single season, and yet nobody's realized it yet for some reason. Somehow it's slipped under the radar. They still can't throw the ball that well. The receivers still have brick hands, can't catch for shit. They have one tight end that does everything for them and nothing else. They have one pass rusher, one corner. Nobody else in the defense plays a down. The offensive line sucks. Drew Aller is mediocre as hell, even in his best year of all time. So they're fucking number 3 in the country or whatever. They're going to lose 2 games this year because James Franklin's a dumbass. So I'm betting one of them is going to be at Wisconsin here. Then they're going to lose at home against Ohio State, and they're going to be all butthurt about it and think that it's such a great rivalry, even though we beat their fucking ass every fucking year.
Well, it's because they keep trying to do whiteout games against Ohio State. It's not a smart move.
Well, it's because they're not talented and they think they are. That's the real reason. Penn State needs to learn a lesson. And I think Luke Fickell might be able to knock some sense into him. At least I'm hoping. Rant
You're
over.
hoping for
That's
sure.
a good one.
LSU at Texas A&M. This has been a fun matchup every year that it's happened in the SEC.
Oh, yeah.
So I circle this game every year. I'm going to give it to Texas A&M at home. The 12th man, I think, is going to be the difference maker here.
Yep. So, Doug, back to you. What are you seeing with LSU?
I understand the reasoning completely. Man, LSU has been really good down the stretch this year so far. I know that loss to USC has tainted some opinions. Garrett Nussmeier was a brand new quarterback. So this to me is very similar to Ohio State. What was it, 2021? So 3 years ago. CJ Stroud comes out against Oregon, has a piss poor performance. It's his second game of all time. And then they look phenomenal down the stretch, and the offense is unbeatable. So I think that's the kind of situation LSU is in. Garrett Nussmeier comes in, fresh face, new starter on the offense. They still have a lot of pieces in place. The offensive line is really good. They probably have 2 first-round tackles at LSU right now. And, hey, some of those defensive players we've been waiting on are really starting to step up, such as Harold Perkins, who I've been calling an All-American for 2 years and 3 years and hasn't really produced at that level. He kind of is now. And I know this is on the road, but I think, weirdly enough, Brian Kelly does better on the road than he does at home or neutral environments. So we're going with the Tigers, and we'll see what happens.
Also, obligatory go Cox. The Jacksonville State Gamecocks just won 42-20 against MTSU.
Nice. Very nice.
Michigan State at Michigan. This one ended in a fight in the fucking single tunnel onto the field because that's intelligent. The last time this game was played in Ann Arbor, and this was a very winnable game, I think, again, for Michigan State here. Just the 3rd loss on the season for Michigan if that goes down that way, like you and I think it will, Doug. So, Tug, Bug, what are you guys seeing in Michigan that's giving you the faith that they're going to pull this one out?
It's really the best way I can put it is it's really the final test for me. The train is coming off the tracks. How far off the tracks is it going to go for Michigan? This is what's going to tell me. You're looking at big brother losing to little brother. I know that's what they call this rivalry. I think Michigan's going to pull it out to at least kind of keep things steady. And I think that's what they're fighting for, to kind of keep their season on track. Because if this goes south, you might as well wash the entire program or wash the entire season out, because there's not much to salvage with a loss to Michigan State here. I know Michigan State's coming off a big win too, which is going to help them, but I think Michigan's going to lock down and put this one away.
Yeah, definitely echo that. Neither passing game is going to be good. It hasn't been good. I think it's really just going to, I think it's going to be a dogfight. But being at home, coming off that loss against Illinois, I mean, they can't have that again. It's Michigan. You can't have it again. And I think that's the message that's going to be very clear, that you got to have the win here. So that's where I'm going with that.
And Bug, just to correct you, it will be their 4th loss on the season if Michigan loses.
You say it can't happen again, but it's happened 3 times already. That's what I was just about to say. I mean, they seemingly can't figure something out. I don't know what that something is exactly, because it feels like it might be multiple things at the same time.
Well, it starts at the quarterback position. I can tell you that's what the issue is. It starts there.
That's one of the issues. Other issue is they seemingly can't stop the run anymore.
They also can't start the run.
Would be at least stopping the run would be the thing that they're great at, because they have 2 first-round defensive tackles. But they just haven't been able to do that the last couple of weeks. So
I'm not even going to lie to you. I forgot they even played Washington. That seems like it was a month ago, and it was only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Insane.
At Washington.
Yep. I remember picking it now that I see it.
Yep. Well, it was a great time.
They've got at least they might win one game down the rest of the season. I don't think it's going to be this one though.
Yeah, it'll be against Northwestern.
Yeah, it'll be exactly.
Probably.
Oh, this is a terrifying slide.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Did somebody who hates a team more than anything else actually pick that team?
Yeah, I did. And that way, I did it for a reason. That way, either way, I win.
Exactly.
Yeah, the emotional head.
I've heard that one before.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, also it was because I played Kansas State, and so I really wish that the South Dakota State, there was a Wildcat in there. That'd have been fun.
Yeah.
But yep.
Yeah, South Dakota State is hosting South Dakota. They're going to get their revenge after losing the Dakota marker there. They're going to start another streak here that may or may not go through the national championship this year at the FCS level. But, man.
I'm not as convinced as you guys are. South Dakota is a really damn good team this year. And
all of the Dakotas, whether they're Dakota State or not, are good teams.
Sure.
I agree with that, but I think South Dakota State has that home field advantage that's going to play to their favor.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. And I am picking the Jackrabbits, so obviously I agree with it to some extent. But, man, the Coyotes made me pause, and I don't know who wins this game, really. I think I did just go with the home team. But then also we have Wildcats facing 2 different directions. It's pandemonium.
And they're
one of them
very
is a Sunflower Showdown, and Kansas should have been making it competitive this year, except they decided not to play football anymore.
Man,
they want to be a football or a basketball school again.
That's literally what I put in here. I have no idea what's going on with them. Everything that they've built over the past couple of years is just straight down the fucking shitter. Maybe it's because they don't really have a home stadium this year, but let's be real. It's not like that place was that much of a factor. And to be honest, getting to play your conference games at Arrowhead's pretty fucking cool.
It is. It is. And every time they were winning games, they would just open the gates. You'd get it for free. The place would be crowded for the second half.
Yeah.
So
great game day experience.
Yeah.
You thought it was easy to play here. Wait till the second half when we're up by 3 points.
And everybody who's tailgating, waiting for us just to open the gates, decides to come in.
No, everybody who's watching in their dorms shows up now because it's free. Oh, man. And then Auburn, I don't trust either of these teams right now at all.
Like I said earlier, Auburn's going to keep this game close because they shouldn't, and they play up to their opponents. So Auburn's going to keep it close, but I think Kentucky pulls this one out.
Auburn just hasn't performed really at all this year, which is exactly why they're going to win the Iron Bowl. But right now, it's not great. It's not looking great for the Tigers.
Don't tell Mason we said that, though.
He knows it.
Mason will understand. He will probably agree, actually.
Okay, just don't tell Randall.
Okay. SMU at Duke, the battle of 6-1 teams in the ACC.
This is going to be a blowout.
I agree. I think SMU's going to fucking dog
I
walk them.
want
I mean, this
SMU.
is going to be so sad to watch.
I want SMU to run the table the rest of the way in the conference. So bad, more than anything. I want SMU to be our ACC champions more than I want a lot of things in life right now.
There's a really good chance of that.
That
There's
said,
a really good chance.
That said, I think Duke is the better team.
That's
crazy. That's insane.
SMU has probably the best, one of the best, if not the best offense in the FBS. I'm not going to debate that. They have a really good offense. They were definitely prepping themselves to go back to like mid 2010s Big 12 football with all offense, no defense.
So the SEC.
However,
yes.
However, Duke has been surprisingly good this year and didn't seem like they lost much from last year. And I'm actually expecting that to continue here. I think this game will be close. I can see the pathway for both teams. It's going to come down to, can Duke either keep up offensively or can they get one or two stops to create that separation?
You say they didn't lose much. They lost their quarterback and their coaching staff.
No, I appreciated that diss towards Riley Leonard. I don't think they lost much at all. No. They gained. It was addition and subtraction there. So
it's like, yes, they lost a lot. We were expecting Duke to be a bottom dweller this year. They're not. Is what I'm saying. They've come out and kind of surprised, is what I would say. And yeah, sure, I'll give you maybe a little addition by subtraction.
Dweller. I mean, if anybody's going to be the bottom dweller, it's going to be Wake Forest, which they are. So we were right about that.
Yeah. Duke has been. I agree with you. Duke has surprised in a couple games this year. Mostly low scoring games. That's just not the case. They're not, no matter who SMU goes, and I'll eat my words, but I just have a feeling SMU is going to put up 38, 39. It's going to be like a 20-point game.
I'm surprised you're keeping SMU that low. I
wouldn't be at all surprised by that either.
No, 39-12.
Yeah.
Easy.
San Jose State at Fresno State.
Are we picking every Mountain West game this week?
No.
Which one are we not?
I don't know. The one Air Force is in.
You're right. That's it.
Yeah. We can change that if you want.
No.
Right. But yeah, San Jose State was one of the teams that we said was one of the teams that we said we were going to be picking the entirety of the season because we're tracking Kendi Matalolo's story, which has been awesome so far. And I'm still rooting for the Spartans.
Are you? I mean, maybe you are. Maybe you are, but I think that San Jose State, Fresno State in particular, I think Fresno State has been a better team throughout the year, even with some of their struggles.
Fresno State's historically been better. I'm going to roll with them on this one. Also, Bug, if you can find an Air Force game this weekend, we can absolutely go pick it.
They're not playing this weekend.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to pick the bye week on this.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Fresno State is the better team right now and probably should win this game. But I'm still rooting for the Spartans and believe in Kendi Matalolo, our hero.
I hate him too. Stop it.
Eastern Washington at Idaho. I wanted to pick this game because Idaho looked like they were on a tear. They looked like they had a legitimate shot at the FCS title, even at a certain point this season. They took Oregon to the brink. They took Boise State to the brink. They took Wyoming out back and beat the shit out of them. And then they just fell apart a little bit. They lost to UC Davis. Eastern Washington has not been phenomenal this season by any stretch of the imagination. At the same time, they have been a team that can give a couple of folks a scare if you let them. So if Idaho lets the Eagles stay in this game, it will be down to the wire, potentially overtime.
Yeah, but you forgot one key piece. This is in the gymnasium.
Oh, I know that, but I'm still afraid of what Eastern Washington can do, especially when there's a team such as the way the Vandals have played this year, where they just kind of play down to their opponent sometimes, feels like.
I'm just amazed looking at this. Like, I'm still going with Idaho, but I'm amazed like at how far they've come, because 2-3 years ago, when we even were just starting, we would have all been picking Eastern Washington, calling it a blowout. Just how much both of these teams have changed over the past 2-3 years.
Welcome to FCS football.
Love it.
Absolutely. And Tug, to answer your question, yes, we are picking every single Mountain West game this week.
Let's go.
Cincinnati at Colorado.
Yeah, we have another Big 12 game, which might be.
Yeah, it is not it is not a Mountain West game.
Cincinnati at Colorado. I'm breaking my rule because I was wrong a couple of times. So here's my logic on this. I know you're going to hate this, Mug. You can explode in a second. So Cincinnati, I thought, sucked. And then now they're kind of like in a place where they might contend for the Big 12.
God.
And Colorado, I thought, sucked. And they're also in the same position. So what do I do in this situation? I go with the exact opposite of my instincts in the Big 12 game, and I take the road team, which is Cincinnati now. And we're going to say that Cincinnati wins this and then probably loses out.
Yeah, I'm going with Colorado because they finally look like the team that everybody thought they were last year. Go ahead, Mug.
Yeah.
No, that was I echo you right there, but also you're falling right into Satterfield's trap.
I know.
It's his trap where he lures you in there. He's like, you want a couple decent wins? I gotcha. Start believing in me, and then he yanks the rug out from under you, and they lose by 35 this weekend, and you're like, you're up, you know.
This sounds like some past experiences that have forged a.
This is battered fan syndrome.
This is not. This is trauma. I mean, this is trauma speaking.
Oh, man. I know I should be picking Colorado in this game. Everything in the world says I should be picking Colorado.
So you're going to pick Cincinnati.
That's the exact reason I'm picking Cincinnati.
Because the Big 12 doesn't make sense. And the second you say somebody has a chance at the conference title, they lose for no reason.
We got Rangers King in here saying, all I'm here to say is go Owls. Yeah, Doug, let's hear it. Say go Owls just once. You know you want to.
Liberty sucks. This is close you're going to get.
27.5 point favorites, and they lose.
Unreal.
Rangers King, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it, my man.
Washington State at San Diego State this weekend. One brave soul taking the Aztecs.
Those Aztec guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with them. Washington State lost a lot of key pieces from last year.
They did.
Still good this year, but they're traveling. I think San Diego State has what it takes. So I don't think the 3 out of 4, like I mentioned earlier, is indicative of what might actually happen in the game. So we'll see.
Wazoo's honestly been impressive this year.
Yeah, I'm hardcore in the camp of Washington State.
Yeah.
Legitimately, there is a very real possibility to go 11-1, and then we have a very uncomfortable conversation about should they even be in the top 25? Should they be in the playoff conversation? Who the hell knows?
Not the way the Mountain West is playing this year.
I mean,
the Mountain West is beating each other up, which is what a lot of conferences are doing right now.
Yep. welcome to every conference right now. Other than the Big Ten, which somehow has 3 undefeated teams and 2 very scary 1-loss teams.
Also, I'm in
Unreal.
Nice. Nevada at Hawaii.
Yeah, I don't like Nevada here, so yeah, give me Hawaii.
Okay.
I don't.
We got another on-air change.
Yeah.
Hey, it wasn't me this time.
That's our first of the
let's
year.
go.
It is.
Oh, man.
Look, I don't like either of these teams, but only one team is allowed to be winless in the Mountain West, and that's Air Force. So Nevada has to get a win somewhere. Which
I
realistically,
say
now that I
That's
looked at the schedule, will
horrible.
probably be against Air Force. But,
Yes, that is true. But also, I say that. Scobos.
Scobos or Warriors. They don't go by the rainbows anymore, which is sad and
Oh, they don't?
depressing in so many ways. No,
Yeah, but everybody says Scobos. Still counts.
that's fair. Still counts. Whew, 59 games, the most we've picked all year.
Yeah.
Wow,
baby.
what a great podcast.
all I keep thinking about is where Doug at the beginning of the year went, we're going to pick less games this year. There's no rules. And he just picks every game. I love it.
It's not how it happened exactly. There were intermediate steps to that, okay?
Look, I had to give you about 10% truth, and I gave you about 89% truth there, okay?
Oh my God, you're ridiculous. I hate you so much. I just want you to know that.
Good.
I've downed an entire 6-pack of Modelo during this podcast.
I've noticed. I'm proud of you.
That brings me back to the time. Doug, what if I told you the Patriots just drafted Cole Strange? And you went, no.
I'm glad you have this great core memory. I don't remember this incident at all.
That makes it even better.
We know.
For context, I was an entire fifth of Weller Antique 107 down.
Okay.
And we're on a 3-hour
Draft
stream with the
spectacular.
draft.
Yeah. Got to about pick 20, and the entire bottle was gone. I'd just gone to evacuate some of it. Came back. Patriots selected Cole Strange. And apparently that was shocking to me. I don't recall. Couldn't tell you.
I could see you animated about that shit.
Guard out
Hey,
of Chattanooga in the first round. What the hell?
Why don't you read off some links for us real quick there, bud?
I can get us some links here. I'm going to let them scroll through.
Oh my God.
You don't know them by now?
No, I do, but I like reading them so I don't forget one. There's an order to this, guys. But I'm gonna lead you on here. I'm still not gonna read the Discord link.
Boo.
Weak.
All right, guys. We do have our patreon.com/BTFootball, twitch.tv/BigDudesInTheTrenches, all one word, x.com/BTFootball, facebook.com/BDTFootball, instagram.com/BDT_football, BDTFootball.com, mailbox@BDTFootball.com, youtube.com/@BigDudesInTheTrenches. Once again, all one word. And guys, I love you, but I already told you I'm not reading that Discord link. Go find one, though,
Ew.
and they apparently have a surprise for you on Discord. If you find an episode where Bug read it, these two have a surprise that even I don't know what it is, so we'll figure it out.
Yep. Go listen to the last episode where Bug read you that juicy Discord link. You'll get special access to the Discord server.
Absolutely. Hey, what does a skeleton say before eating?
Bone apple teeth.
Well, close. It's bon appetit, but yes, you got it.
Yep.
That was too predictable. Hold on, let me get another one. Where
There
does a
you go.
witch usually take her vacation?
Ooh. Don't say it. I got nothing.
Broom.
Anywhere that has a broom with a view.
No.
That
Eh?
sucked.
Yeah,
Eh?
that might have been.
Check out this view, though. Gotta get back to work, fellas. Good podcast. Gotta get going.
Bug, thank you for joining us. Tug, take us out of here.
Sir, appreciate you all having me on.
Anytime, man.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching and or listening. And just remember, you can't win a game if you can't win in the trenches.